Welcome. All right. I just want to reiterate that I don't hate women. This is not about hating women. All right. This channel is not about hating women. It's about addressing the problem. Right. That's what the show. That's what the channel is about. The existential dilemma. We have to face this every day. In order to find the solutions, we have to understand the problem. We have to address the problem. Right. And the thing is, I don't want to come out as a person that's hate a certain people. Alright? Just because you understand what is the problem or you see the problem, that doesn't mean you hate them. Right? As to women, women do all these stuff. We have to learn how to understand how women works. Right? Because if we don't understand how women works and who they are, we can't avoid the problems. We can't avoid the problem that we faces today, the high divorce rate, right? High divorce rates, having kids out of wedlock, this, that, and the third, gold diggers, and all the stuff, right? In order for men to do better in life, we have to pick our mate better, right? We need to stop being weak to women. We need to be firm in our decision making in a strong, assertive way. Because if we don't, we're gonna fall back on the pattern that our ancestors fell back in the past, right? So the reason why we are in this problem because a lot of men are really lacking of information of how women works, right? We can't blame women because this is who they are. This is how they are engineered. This is how they're programmed in life, right? Because this is how they are programmed, we just can't indiscriminately hate them for no reasons, all right? I don't hate women. I just want men to be more aware of how women behave, right? No matter where they are, what country they are, because at the end of the day, they still have this innate programming in their instincts, in their behavior, that they're programmed this way for reasons. And deep down, deep rooted, deep seatedly, right? Women, when you get down to the nitty gritty, they're all the same. They are, I don't want to say they are weaker than men, right? Although there are some examples that women are there are some women that are stronger physically than men, but in general terms, women are weaker than men, right? It's not to bash them, right? It's because how they are programmed, right? So we must understand them to prevent men from being in this trap of marriage, right? In this trap of alimony, in this trap of child support, right? You need to do better, make wiser decisions, make better choices when you pick a mate. Learn how to understand nuances when it comes to women. Know how to understand their behavior. Know how to understand their actions. Know how to understand their thought process. Right. If you understand more of women and who they are, right, then you could avoid all these problems that I mentioned previously. Right. What's lacking is that throughout generation, men was raised by a lot of simps men, right? A lot of blue pill simp men was giving men the wrong idea, the wrong information through life, right? I, I have to admit, I was given wrong information through most of my life about women until I learned it myself through time and through my experiences with different women's in life. Yeah, when you engage with a lot of women in life, you tend to pick up new experiences of who they are, and 1 + 1 together, you get this, that, and the third, etc., etc. Then you start making connections of, oh, this is why they do this. This is why I shouldn't say this and that. This is why this is that. This is that. This is that. Right? Through all the life experiences that you gain in life. Right? Unfortunately, most men been giving out misleading information of how women are. Right? Because they were blue pill simps. They hadn't been red pilled yet of who they are by the right men in their life. Right? They've been following the wrong type of men. Right? Now we're in the age of information. What kind of opportunity does that give most men? It give a better outreach to other men out there who's been through the same situations, right? So there's no excuse for men not to understand how women works, because we live in the age of information where men are more connected together more than ever, and more information could be passed down so men can learn better and make more wiser choices to avoid certain type of women, right? So there's no excuses for men to make poor decision on picking a mate. Like, you are given this kind of information already to tell how women are, right? If you fail to do that, you can only blame yourself, right? Men out there who have been experienced with marriages tell you the situation, how flawed the marriage system is. If you hadn't taken that into accountability, taking that into account, all right, and you fell into the trap as well. You want to experience it. You want to roll the dice. You have nobody to blame but yourself. Because we warn you to be on the lookout for this behavior, this characteristic. This is what they want. This is who they are, right? And you can't hate them for that because that's how they're programmed. Like a woman can't hate a man, right, for being dominant because that's who we are. Women can't blame a man for being overly emotional because this is how men program. Men are not programmed to be emotional as to women. Women are programmed to be overly emotional, right? That's a fact, right? So when a woman is overly emotional, men cannot get mad at that. They have to know how to understand them and to stay away from these kind of characteristic and behavior in the appropriate time, right? Like women cannot get mad at men because men are more, let's say they want to say toxic masculinity. This is how men are. You just can't say we're toxic because we're programmed this way. This is how men program. We're naturally aggressive towards other people, right? We're not emotional people. We're not emotional beings, right? You just can't get mad at men because that's instinctual. That's how men are programmed. Right? So I just want to take the time in this video that you just cannot just hate on women because this is who they are. You expected this from women. That's what it is. If you know more, if you learn more, I'm still learning. I don't know everything, right? But I'm beginning to a point where I could understand women that I just can't just hate women because I could identify certain patterns and understand and accept that this is who they are. Right? You can't fix them. You can't change them. We just gotta learn ways to avoid it, so you won't fall into this trap of misery, of brokenheartedness. All right. Unfortunately, there's a lot of men out there who can't pick up this pattern, who haven't experienced this yet, who's very inexperienced when it comes to women, who haven't got this luxury of talking to many women yet, due to their social anxieties issues, right? Due to lack of social communication skills, because they hadn't been taught a certain way, because they didn't have the right structures in their household, right, to give them the right informations. And what they do, they become hermit. They play video games all day to avoid social interactions. But that could be on another video. But the thing is, men have to get out there to learn more, to gain more experiences of how these women are, so you can avoid these women in the future. Right? That might sound crazy, but in order to know women, you have to talk to them. Right? When you talk to them, they show who their true self are, the true colors. Then you can pick up the nuances. Then you just don't talk to them again if it doesn't fulfill your satisfaction. If they don't fulfill your satisfaction, right? So, just because you talk to a woman, you're not obligated to continue on with a relationship with a woman, right? You talk to women to understand who they are, what they are, so you can identify more. I'm saying more, so you can gain more experiences of how to diagnose what women, not diagnose women. So you get more experiences how to select a person, how to read their books, how to read a woman, right? How to know more things about women, because you can't find the right woman that you want unless you know how to read them, all right? You just can't get with a woman just because of her beauty, and you just fall into a trap. You just setting yourself up for failure. You need to know how women are. You need to know their instincts. You need to know how they are programmed. Right? So you can avoid more headache, more heartache in the future. Right? Because when a man is heartbroken, he go to some traumatic events in his life. It's like in the dirt when a guy broken, right? It's tough for them to get back up because guys are not emotional creature, and then when they get to an emotional state, it's hard for them to get back up. Again, they become very depressed, and it might lead to another thing, you know. But that's another story. But anyway, yeah, the point of this video is that you know you just can't be just don't hate women, but understand them even more. That's basically the main gist of this video, you know. But if I'm missing something, leave your comment below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll check you guys in the next video. On that note, guys, peace and blessings.